Well, hello everyone out there, Forge fam. We are back with our Forge Care series. We have the delight and pleasure of talking to Michael Odupitan today of the Omni Circle Group, a group that's doing a lot of great work here in Topeka, and that I think a lot of Forge members, if they haven't heard of, are going to start hearing the name here very soon. So, Michael, thanks for joining us this morning.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate giving us the opportunity to kind of give everybody a little bit of insight on what Omni Circle is. So I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. As I just had aforementioned, in looking back, it looks like some of our recent events have even been in partnership with your group, and like I had mentioned as well, if you do just kind of a news search, we're seeing all the exciting things that's going on in the Omni Circle group right now, and all of the forward momentum that you guys have got. So let's start off with just that. Give us kind of a quick background on where the Omni Circle started a couple of years ago, and where things are at right now.
Yeah, so Omni Circle started for myself in 2019, which was when I came back to Topeka. But it started years before that, 2015 or so, when I started to, see all the different things that were happening in the world. Some of the injustices when it came to the Eric Gardners and the Sandra Blands and many other individuals that was dealing with police brutality at the time. And there were a lot of times where communities were not getting what they needed, uh, s- specifically African American communities. So I felt like there was a point where we just had to do something where we took responsibility for our own community instead of waiting for somebody to do it for us. So worked on this plan for about 5 years, just trying to learn as much as I can as far as being in the community and also working 17 years in social work, just recognizing that there were some gaps. So after a few years of working on it and actually coming up with a plan and working through my business plan and figuring out what would be the best way to do it, and also one of the places that I felt like I wanted to do it at, I decided to come back to Topeka in 2019, and we kind of got to work. Initially, the organization started with just like where I said it, just meeting the needs of the community as much as we could, being as active in the community, meeting the basic needs, what we call it, as we operate through a little bit of our program through Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where we meet those physical needs of people. We try to do as much in the community as far as food deliveries, distribution. We did events for backpack giveaways for kids. We've done political campaigns where we just raised awareness and education as far as voting rights, and just a number of different things in the community just to educate the community on what was happening and getting people involved. But then we had a lot of people that wanted to be engaged in helping in that community. So we started a membership organization in 2019, August actually, of 2019. And then from there, more people wanted to get involved. And then we had, again, 2020, we were right back around and George Floyd hit, right? So
Right.
uh, rallying around the people, we started to build community. So we made it a membership organization. But as people were helping in the community, we said, what can we do for our members to help them grow? So then we started to say, what can we provide as far as education to get people to the next levels in life? So we started the next phase of that organization, and we started working on the psychological development of our community, which was meeting those things or learning about things that we typically didn't have access to. Um, and the things that we were missing in community amongst our members and what they felt like they wanted to see more of, which was like financial literacy, more opportunities to connect with people that we typically didn't have, which we started men's forum and also a women's group. We started a physical group and move boot camp. So just a number of different things that we do, and we also do it. We also have a mentorship program in YMDG, which stands for Young Minds Determined to Be Great. So we've done a number of different things in that aspect, and then now from that transition, which was helping people, one, in the Maslow's, it talks about building social connections, but also a sense of belonging, but also building people's self-esteem. So we also are in that space of where we believe that competence equals confidence, right? So the more and more
Right.
people become familiar with the thing, then the more and more they become confident in self, which In Maslow's, it's about becoming your getting to your self-actualization, which is the best version of you. So now, in that final phase of our organization, we are now building individuals to say, how do we help individuals that want to get to a space of personal freedom, which is could possibly be building a business. So we have now our Topeka startup community, which we're helping entrepreneurs get in the space. And in those three phases, what we typically say is our kind of one of our taglines. We say we connect, collaborate to create. We want to connect with people in the community. We want to help them collaborate. And then also when they get to the space, when they're ready, create their desired lives. So, and that's when you get to your purpose and becoming the best version of yourself. So that's pretty much what we do. And we try to provide as much resources and access, equitable opportunities for individuals to grow, while also collaborating with being a part of the whole of Topeka. We want to see a more diverse and inclusive community. And I feel like we get there by, giving people resources or access to resources that will help them be a part of the whole. So now in a transition, we're just trying to do as much as we can to meet those basic needs, to help people become or live the life that they desire. So that's pretty much Omni Circle in a nutshell. It's a lot of that we do, just to make it as simple as possible. That's the overall scope.
Yeah. So there's you just mentioned it, and there's so many facets to that, Michael. Like you just talked about, so many different components to that can benefit so many different populations and people. When you think about that, have you as well had that conversation or thought on? It sounds like your goal would not only be to benefit your organization, but to invoke that excitement and collaboration from other organizations. Is that right?
Yeah, we're our goal is, even though we said we have a strong focus on helping African American communities, but we also want to be a part of the whole. I mean, that's the goal. We talk about being a diverse community. A diverse community, when the communities thrive, it's when everybody has an opportunity to thrive and live in society in the best ways. So we want to be able to collaborate with multiple organizations, to be able to expand that diversity throughout different groups and then allow opportunities for different groups of people to be able to enjoy the things, whether that be better jobs, whether that be better social activities in the community, but just creating a space where we all have access, right? And I think there's a lot of things happening in this community, and being at the table, having a voice at the table will then open the doors, and we want to continue to open those doors by collaborating with different groups, and also creating more leaders in this community that come from all walks of life, so that way everybody has those opportunity to express what they want to see as we're on this rise of improving Topeka as a whole. So we just want to be one component, to the growth of the overall growth of Topeka, and hopefully the things that we're doing is adding value to the growth of the city. So we
Mhm.
want to continue to stay on that track if we can.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And that makes me think like talking about collaboration, like with Forge and all of our members, like and them trying to galvanize what's happening in Topeka. How can young talent in Topeka help support Omni Circle?
Well, I mean, I think as we talk about Omni Circle growing in itself, we are now in a phase where we are getting our facility done, which will be roughly, it's a 15,000 square foot facility. We are going to phase it out in two different phases, where we're going to get the first floor done first and then move into the second floor. But we're considering this a community hub, resource center, and then also a co-working space. But in this space, we want to be able to make this space a diverse space, where individuals can come and share their walks. And that was one of the things that I feel like for myself, coming to Topeka from West Palm Beach, Florida. I come from a melting pot, and that melting pot did not exist when I came here to Topeka, just to be honest. And one of the biggest things I learned was that, in Topeka, this is a big city for a lot of people that come from like Western Kansas, or, some of the smaller towns throughout Kansas. And as this place grows, As you guys can probably hear my dog drinking water. But as this place grows, there is opportunity for people to get to know different people. And if we talk about being a strong community, we're talking about a community that knows that knows each other, right? A community that shares together, a community that works together, the community that opens doors for resources. So I think as we talk about, people in Forge or different individuals or different groups, the way that they can help this group is by being a part of sharing those resources, coming to get to know people that you normally wouldn't get the opportunity to meet, coming to just share ideas for like how we can do it better or learn from other people on how we can do it better. I think the big part for me is relationship. Um, it's relationship for growing. It's relationship for just in ways that I think that we haven't been doing in the past. As far as bridging those gaps between two sides of the tracks, and I'm hoping that what we're doing here in the Omni can give people those opportunities to really share with each other and understand um, where we're all coming from. And I think that's what we talk about, our empathy of each other and developing compassion for where a person is and not being judgmental for where individual may come from, but just taking that opportunity to get to know people. And I think that's going to be a shift that we just haven't had. So I'm looking for more of that when we build out this organization, and then hoping that we can be the bridge to some of these access to some of these resources that exist in the city.
And Michael, when you talk about that, you talk about meeting people where they are, and that component. Your site that's going to be here in Topeka, for folks that would like to utilize that space, will there be the opportunity for folks then, I would imagine, within that space to then interact with other groups that may be within that space as well, for them to then collaborate or work together? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're building in Omni, in one of those spaces where, yeah, if we're looking for multiple individuals to be in the space, it doesn't really matter nationality wise. This is a space for all people. But also in that space, as we build it, we want to be a space where we learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
We want it to be a space where people learn from the different backgrounds of people. And I'm talking all people. But I think as we learn more about different individuals, different nationalities, different backgrounds, and how people were created, it's going to make us a better community. And being able to be in a shared space where we can work together, that's going to be the big part of what we want to be able to see a transition in this city. So yeah, although we say we have a focus on building African American communities, the space is going to be for all people to be able to transition to. But we hope that it is well diverse, so that way individuals have the opportunity, like you said, to walk alongside people that they normally wouldn't because they don't really have to. But
Right.
this is a choice, like if you coming into this space, you're coming into a space that it's going to be a lot of different people, a lot of different cultures, and you're going to learn some things that may challenge you, and that's okay, because that's where our growth happens, and we need more of that in the city, from my perspective.
Michael, that's going to be so exciting for you to be part of that discussion or that conversation. Where is that brick and mortar location, either currently located, or where's it going to be at?
We're currently right off of 13th and Topeka Boulevard, so kind of right
Okay.
in the heart of Topeka. You won't be able to miss it as you drive down the street of Topeka Boulevard. We're right on the main street, near, like, in the Central Park community. We're 3 minutes from downtown.
Good.
A minute or so from the highway. You got the Stormont Vale Event Center. So just some, Washburn University. So we're in a perfect location, that we think that's surrounded by resources. So I think it'll be a good space for individuals to come from all walks of life. It's not in the West. It's not in the East. It's not in the North. It's not in the South. We're right in the Central,
Yep.
which makes it perfect, because then you have people coming from all different walks that are going to share different backgrounds and different understandings. That's going to help this community, I believe, change the scope of like how we view each other as we grow.
That's awesome.
And Michael, to give you a quick shout out, was doing some research this morning, and for our Forge folks that may be tuning in, Omni Circle Group was recently the recipient of a grant to support minority small business development here in Topeka as well. From what I understand, the money was provided by the Kauffman Foundation Entrepreneurship Support Team. That's going to be exciting for you, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're super excited about, that as we talk about building equity in communities and increasing economic development by giving individuals opportunity. There's a lot of opportunities happening, as far as I know that, Go Topeka does a number of different things, and Glenda Washington and what she's doing in the community. And we just want to continue to add more to, I think there's nothing wrong with more because it just gives people more opportunities to increase their craft. And we want to continue to add to that. This was the first time, I believe, Kauffman Foundation has ever given to Topeka, and opener for them to continue to give to Topeka if we can do a good job. So we need individuals to be a part of this, so that way we can continue to get those type of funding opportunities in this city as well, which then adds to the economic impact of Topeka at whole. So we just want to continue to do things like that and get people involved. And we've had a number of great partners, like Go Topeka, who has helped us get this grant, so we just want to continue to grow, continue to build. And like I said, I think it's going to be some awesome opportunities that come out of that as we look at what we're planning on for the next 3 years through this grant.
One more point for me, Michael, would be, our goal within the Inspire Committee of Forge is to work with organizations that we can help provide volunteerism for, or types of philanthropy or give back. Are there any opportunities for Forge members, Michael, to get involved with providing any type of volunteer support to the Omni Circle Group?
Oh, absolutely. We do a number of different volunteer opportunities, activities throughout the year. There's so many different things that we do. And we're redefining our website right now, so that should be coming out with months and dates and times of the different things that we do. You can also find some of our activities on the United Way Topeka Volunteers page. But like I said, when we do some of the things that we do in the community as far as being a part, and it's not just what we create. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on. It's not always recreating the wheel, is really collaborating with other organizations that are already doing things, so that way we get more people in the community that are investing in their community through volunteerism. So there's so many different things that are going on in the community as far as food distribution, community cleanups, housing, like this Habitat for Humanity. There's so many different things, but as we continue to add things to the community, like right now, what's going on, it's probably be good, just people to get involved or gain an understanding of, like, Juneteenth is coming up. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know much about Juneteenth, but it's a holiday that, the African-American community celebrates, and we need more people to understand what's going on with that, because that's an important day in American history, not just African-American history. And to see people get involved in things like that and invest in those type of things and volunteer when they need volunteers, because there's a lot of work to be done. We can only see those type of activities grow when people get engaged and support. So there's a lot of things that are happening, like I said, with our website that'll be coming out. You can check out some of our volunteer opportunities, and we would love to have people get involved to see what's going on in our community. So, like I said, our page will be coming up fairly soon here. And we'll share all of that as far as the links for those things, because I don't know if we're changing the URL for it, but
sure.
But once we put that stuff out, yeah, definitely we want to see people get engaged and get involved in what's happening in the community.
Thanks, Michael. Josh, I'll let you jump in here if you think of anything that you'd like to talk with Michael or ask him about.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing I like to ask a lot of folks that they're doing the sort of work that you are, especially with some of the great, stories that you probably heard and some of the great work you're doing, is like, what's one of your favorite memories so far from your time working with Omni Circle?
Oh, I mean, every day, to be honest with you guys, like all the different things that we do, you guys see our page, but we document by taking pictures of so many things that we do, because I feel like part of what we're doing, and we hope that it's part of history when we look back and we can see all the great things that we've done over time. But then the documentation of saying that these are the things that are going to be cemented in history when we look back of all the great people that have been a part of this organization, and that was a part of the community's growth. And I think that's one of the things. I don't know if it's one thing that I'm really proud of. I just keep seeing the evolution of this organization. I mean, we started this in 2019, and bootstrapped from pretty much having nothing to now having an organization to where we're remodeling our own building within 3 years, in the midst of having COVID. So there's been some big wins, but I just think that as we grow and being able to continue to add value to this community and see that we're getting more and more people getting involved, and understanding what we're doing as this organization is growing, it fills me with joy to think about what the future could look like for this organization as we continue to branch out. Because 2 years ago we wouldn't have been having this conversation, but the organization is growing to the point to where now it matters and people are open to wanting to learn more. So that means that we're on the right track. And as we continue to get people engaged and the impact continues to grow, it's going to be a pretty awesome thing for the community, not just, like I said, in the African-American communities, but community at large. So I'm excited. And I think I'm living in the moment of cherishing every day through all the different activities that we are doing and providing in this community.
Michael, first off, again, I just want to say how excited that we are to continue our work with your group as well. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we have a family field day coming up in June that I believe Omni Circle and Move have a partnership or interaction with, to kind of then summarize things. If individuals want to learn more about Omni Circle Group or Move Topeka, can they find you on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, things like that?
Yeah, so our different groups, Omni Circle is our primary page on Facebook. Omni Circle Group, I believe you can find it on Facebook. But then we also have Move Boot Camp. They have their own individual pages. So we have Move Boot Camp that you can go follow, Fitness Boot Camp that you'll follow on Facebook. We have our men's forum that you can follow, and everything is by Omni Circle. So that way you can see the connection. But also, if you look at our pages, you'll find all of that information where the different ties to the different groups. But yeah, our website will be up here pretty soon, and that's just right now. I think it would probably be omnicirclegroup.org as we are getting that up. But like I said, we also have an Instagram handle, and then we're also on LinkedIn as well. And that's just Omni Circle Group. I don't think that there's another Omni Circle Group out there as of right now. But yeah, you can follow us on those platforms, and we're going to continue to expand out as we get more social media savvy as the organization grows. But it's finding the help. We would love for individuals to get involved. A lot of what we have right now is volunteerism, but I think as this organization grows, then we'll be able to do some more things. So it's happening fast. And right now we're like I said, in the process of remodeling our building. We may be open as soon as the next couple months, looking at about 4 or 5 months. So it's some cool stuff that's coming our way. And we're very excited about what the future holds for this organization.
I think if you had to recap, it's one of those things, Michael, where we could say, if you didn't know, well, now you know.
Hey, man.
Certainly will soon. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We just to do another plug. It seems like when we've been talking to groups over these last 2 years, Josh and I, the one thing that we're learning from just about every organization right now is how important the collaboration piece is. That no group is going to do it on their own. Every group, and that's what we're finding with Forge as well. That's one point that I think that we all share, is that we can all benefit from each other. So I'll also just do a shameless quick plug here that if you all are interested and going back and learning about other nonprofit organizations or philanthropies that are benefiting Topeka. We do have our Forge Facebook page as well as our Forge YouTube page where you can check out these videos. Once this video is up, Michael will have that available for all to see, and we're excited for the growth that we've seen out of your organization these last 3 years. But you can imagine, we can expect just that we'll continue to see that growth in the coming years, won't we?
Oh, I think that, you know, for the work that we've been doing in the community, it's been the prerequisite to what's to come. And
Exactly.
when this building gets open, man, I think that's going to be the turn for a lot of great things to really talk about the expansion of this organization. So we're super excited. This is what we've been working for the last couple of years, from when we bought the building in 2020, right?
Right.
So so now that we're here and what we've been working for this whole time, I think things are going to turn, and we're super excited at what we have in store for this community.
Well, again, just tie everything together, everyone. Go check out the Omni Circle's brick and mortar location off of 13th in Topeka. If you're not available to go check it out, check out their resources available online on Facebook, their URL website that will be coming soon. And looking forward to hearing more about the brick and mortar location that's going to be opening up here in a couple of months. With that, Michael, we will imagine see you and see Omni Circle Group and Move and the additional organizations that you work with out in the Topeka over the summer area. Do you all have any big goals or plans for the next, say, 6 months?
Next 6 months is really, like you said, it's getting this building open and launching what this collaborative workspace is going to look like, and really getting that out there and really sharing that to the community, so that way we can build that diverse space, but also, you know, just doing the awesome things that we have in store and really getting it out there so the community knows, you know, that it's available. And that's our next big steps. I mean, we do have the Family Day coming up here in June, but I think I said July maybe. But yeah, I think that when we get these things out and running and get this building going, I think that that's going to be the turn for us. And so that's what we're working on right now, is getting all of the plans in place. So that way it's, you know, things are ready to go and we're ready to offer to the community what we have been planning for the last couple of years. So.
Awesome. Well, Josh, if can you think of anything else that you'd like to discuss with Michael today?
Just thanks for talking with us today, and I'm as excited as Richard, and really looking forward to working with you in the future and checking out the building once it's all said and done.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Like I said, this is just another opportunity to get people familiar with who we are and what we're trying to accomplish in this community. We know we're a fairly young organization, but I think even with us being young as we are, we've made some pretty decent impacts in this community, and I think that it's only up from here with some of the next steps that we're taking. So appreciate you guys for having us and letting us kind of communicate who we are and what we do, so that way more people can get involved.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
One final call to action, everyone. Again, make sure to check out Omni Circle Group on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Make sure to check out Forge Cares videos on Facebook and YouTube. We look forward to continued partnership with local Topeka nonprofit and other organizations. And Michael, we look forward to continuing our work with you too, man.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.